Jose Mourinho is the new Manchester United manager. The club have announced that the former Porto, Chelsea, Inter and Real Madrid boss have signed a 3-year deal with an option to keep him until 2020. We want your reaction to the big news this afternoon on this Welcome Jose special. 0161236 1968 is the number to call. MUTV at manunited.co.uk is our email address, or tweet us by using the hashtag MUTV on your tweet. We will hear from you at home and of course the new Manchester United manager very shortly. But first, let's cross to Stuart Gardner, who's down in London where the deal was agreed, and after weeks, months, even speculation regarding his future continues. Stuart.
Yes, the speculation feels like it's been going on for weeks, but at last it's official. Jose Mourinho is the new Manchester United manager. The club released a statement a little after 9:30 this morning confirming that the 53-year-old Portuguese has agreed a 3-year contract to take over from Louis van Gaal. Now, he signed the deal here in central London, and as you'd expect, MUTV were there when he put pen to paper, and also were there when he had his first official photographs as the new Manchester United manager taken. United themselves have issued this statement. Jose Mourinho will take over as manager of Manchester United from the 2016-17 season, signing a 3-year contract with an option to stay at the club until at least 2020. Jose, 53, has managed at the top level of European football for over a decade, and in that time has won league titles and cups in 4 countries: Portugal, England, Italy and Spain, as well as winning the UEFA Champions League twice, in 2004 with Porto and 2010 with Inter Milan. Announcing the appointment, Ed Woodward said, "Jose is quite simply the best manager in the game today. He's won trophies and inspired players in countries across Europe, and of course he knows the Premier League very well, having won 3 titles here. I'd like to take this opportunity to welcome him to Manchester United. His track record of success is ideal to take the club forward." This is what Jose Mourinho said in the statement. To become Manchester United manager is a special honour in the game. It's a club known and admired throughout the world. There is a mystique and a romance about it which no other club can match. I've always felt an affinity with Old Trafford. It's hosted some important memories for me in my career. I've always enjoyed a rapport with the United fans. I'm looking forward to being their manager and enjoying their magnificent support in the coming years. So that's what Jose Mourinho has had to say in the official statement. As you would expect, Jose Mourinho's first interview as Manchester United manager was with MUTV. Here's what he had to say to me. Well, Jose, congratulations, new Manchester United manager. How do you feel?
I feel great. I think comes in the right moment of my career, because Man United is one of these clubs where you need really to be prepared for it, because it's what I used to call a giant club, and giant clubs must be for the best managers, and I think I'm ready for it. So I could say I'm happy, I'm proud, I'm honored, I'm everything, but the reality is that what I love is to work, and I cannot wait for 7th of July to go on the pitch.
You've won trophies everywhere. What are your ambitions for Manchester United?
I think we can look at our club now in 2 perspectives. One perspective is the past 3 years, and another perspective is the club history. I think I prefer to forget the past 3 years. I prefer to focus on the giant club I have in my hands now. And I think what the fans are expecting me to say is that I want to win. I think what the players, they need to listen is I want to win. And more than that, I need the supporters and the players to feel that I say that, but I think we can really. It's not just to say by say. So yes, I want to focus on the history of this giant club and give what I have and what I don't have. So I will give absolutely everything to try to go in the direction we all want.
You seem to have had a good rapport with Manchester United fans when you come back with Inter Milan, with Real Madrid, with Chelsea, with the charity game. What's your message to United fans who will be watching this eagerly now?
You know, I think I know what they can give me. I think also they they know what I can give them. Obviously, the most important thing are the players and the relation the players establish with them. But I think is very important and curious that I played so many times against Man United, and I played so many times at Old Trafford with other clubs, and was empathy, no problems, and in fact I was pushed by that feeling to say sometimes things that my clubs were not happy with. I remember, for example, when I won at Old Trafford with Real Madrid, I told that the best team lost, and not many people was happy at Real Madrid.
Well, Jose Mourinho there speaking to Stuart Gardner, and MUTV is the only place you can hear from Mourinho in his new position as Reds boss, because he's not scheduled to speak to any other media until July. There's no scheduled press conference, so MUTV, the only place to hear exclusively from Jose. He seems excited to start the job. It's a big opportunity for one of the big global names in management in football.
And I think he's in the right place at the right time, Mark. In management, sometimes that's the key to it. If you're lucky enough to be in the right place at the right time, and obviously being a good manager. I've never forgotten him since the night here against Porto, when he sank to his knees and went down after they scored.
Ran down the touchline.
Yeah, I'd never heard of him before that, and I thought, this fella's got something about him. Following his career ever since, you just need to look at his record, what he's done, where he's been, what he's done. And it's always the best thing to do. Look at someone's record, Mark, not form an opinion of them based on what somebody said in a newspaper or based on what something else. Have a look at his record, and Mourinho's record. He's a winner. How he wins those games, people may sometimes may not like how he wins them, but he wins football matches. I'm delighted he's here.
Oh, so am I. And you mentioned that Porto game. Just before that second leg here at Old Trafford, we went over MUTV, and I was lucky enough to interview him. Gave us 15 minutes of his time after training. Really gracious, kind guy. And you're right, sometimes the media portray him in a different light, as a bit of a stubborn character who likes confrontation. There are multiple sides to Mourinho.
There's lots of, obviously, good sides to him, which from time to time never ever get mentioned, and people do forget about what he has done in the game. Something crops up, and let's be honest, let's go back to the physio situation at Chelsea. That became a massive story. All right, he did what he did, and he was desperate to win that game of football. May have been a slight mistake on his part, but he will have realised that now, and I think he's one of those managers that is not fixed in his ways.
Yeah.
If things are not working properly, he'll change. He'll realise what Manchester United is all about. It's not just all about winning, although he is a winner, and we will win things with him. It's about the style of football. It's about going out here at Old Trafford and away from home and putting on a show.
Yeah.
He knows all that. He's not daft. That's the one thing about him that we can all be rest assured. He's a clever operator. He knows what he's doing.
And a great man manager, and that's important when you have a squad full of international stars and some big egos in the dressing room.
Yeah, well, I mean, people have said as well about his style of football, and I've got to be honest, I've never seen that as being a negative. We've got Ray Wilkins on later, haven't we?
Yeah.
Well, Ray's seen a lot of Chelsea. Let's ask Ray about, style of football. I don't get that. Giving young players a chance, which they say he doesn't give young players a chance. I don't see that either.
Yeah.
Just maybe at Chelsea there wasn't any young players good enough to be given a chance. And let's be honest, Mark, the two young players we've got here this year that have broke through, one came in because there was an injury at a warm-up to Martial and he got his chance.
Yeah.
Jesse Lingard had been out on loan for most of the season to championship clubs. So we weren't going to give those two an opportunity. And it's difficult, and then eventually they did get that opportunity. But it's difficult for managers like him that are expected to win titles to throw any youngster in at the deep end unless they really are good enough. And of course, our two now, Jesse Lingard and Rashford, have proved that they are good enough.
Yeah, absolutely. If the players are good enough, they're old enough.
Yeah.
It's the age-old mantra. Let's take some tweets then, because they're starting to pour in, and everyone delighted with the appointment of Jose as our new boss. Damian says, giant club, love it, Jose. Connor Kelly, love hearing from Jose on MUTV. Go10 says, loving Jose. A lot of love for Jose's interview already. Chinny says, I'm in love already. Paul Williams, Jose will have space to work at MUFC. No Abramovich, no Moratti, no Perez. This is going to be quite a ride. And that's a great philosophy, that, isn't it? It's going to be an enjoyable ride to be on this roller coaster with Mourinho.
Did you say philosophy?
Is that word banned now?
It's banned now. Don't ever say it again.
No more philosophy.
No, his idea about football will be simple.
Yeah.
I want to win games.
Yeah.
I want Manchester United to be at the top of everything, if possible. Of course, that's not going to be possible, Mark. And, you know, other things like Europe, we are where we are in Europe. He's got to get us back to that Champions League.
100%.
And he's got to get us a Champions League side that's good enough to do well in the Champions League. So there's a lot of hard work ahead for him, but I do think he's in the right place at the right time. And, you know, the manager that's gone, you know, I don't want to say anything bad about him, but, you know, anybody that was a regular here at Old Trafford and away from home probably most of the games, the whole of last season, it was poor entertainment.
Yeah.
You know, week after week after week, the football wasn't great, and people, you know, who were very patient, I've got to say the United supporter here, were very patient for most of the season, and then eventually I think they all cracked because it couldn't go on.
Yeah.
He's come in and he will make sure if there's no excitement on the pitch, there'll be plenty of excitement in that technical area because that's the type he is.
Yeah, very animated character in that technical area. OK, keep your tweets and emails coming in, but we're going to take a phone call now, our first of the afternoon, and go to Gillingham to speak to Stefan. Hi there.
Hi, Mark. Kylie.
Hi, Stefan.
How you doing? So how delighted are you? How delighted are you that we've appointed Jose?
Over the moon. Before Ancelotti got the Bayern Munich job, the only two managers I said I wanted to see here was either Ancelotti or Mourinho. So obviously I'm happy. It's the perfect fit for us. He's got the passion, the drive which a manager of the club of this stature needs and deserves. He's very misunderstood, but at the same time the players now who maybe Louis wasn't as ruthless with the past two seasons, you know, they're going to have to give absolutely everything to Jose and to the club now, because he's not the manager that's going to let players just sort of, you know, not give 100% and think that they can just get away with it. So I think that's the right idea for what we need in terms of team management as well. I like the fact that his agent, Jorge Mendes, is the agent of some fantastic footballers around the world, so maybe, hopefully, with the connections, we might be able to see a few players on his books arrive, which would be nice. The thing with Ibrahimovic is interesting. I know it's a divided opinion amongst a lot of supporters, because some people say, oh, he's too old. Others are saying, well, no, but I mean, at the age of 35, if you're that technically gifted, then you deserve to have that opportunity to play for Manchester United. I mean, he's done it and won it all everywhere else, so who wouldn't want to finish their career with a Premier League title or two, you know? So, you know, give him a chance. You know, Jose's not all about defensive football. What happened at Chelsea is another story. What he did at Real Madrid, he had them playing some of the best attacking football they had done in a few years, scored La Liga record number of goals. You know, as I said, you know, this summer is going to be probably the most interesting summer in Premier League history. We're blessed as English supporters to have some of the best managers in the world for next season in the same league, and it is going to be one hell of a season ahead. So, you know, welcome Jose, and good luck to all the boys next season.
I don't think we can argue with anything Stefan said there, really. A great call, by the way, Stefan. Thanks for that. But one interesting point he makes about the fact that Mendes is Mourinho's agent. He is the agent of some of the biggest names in world football. Some of the players here as well, people like David De Gea, who keeps getting linked with a move away, but he's happy here. Player of the Year again. Mendes, his agent. Mourinho's name will attract footballers alone and keep some of the big players here if they were even considering a move.
I think the first thing, Mark, is Manchester United's name will bring players here.
100%,
I know people keep saying, you're not in the Champions League, players won't come. That's nonsense. You go and meet any top player and tell them we want you at Old Trafford, they'll be desperate to come. And especially added to that, he is here now.
Yeah.
That's an added attraction to the Manchester United name. And I can't think of many players that we'll have gone for in the last whatever number of years that wouldn't have been attracted to Manchester United simply because of the way the team was playing or not having European football. That really is not the main thing. The main thing is you're coming to Manchester United.
Yeah.
You're here, you're playing in front of 75,000 people every week, well, every second week rather. And, the manager's a proven winner. I mean, at Chelsea, he got, how many league titles did he win at Chelsea?
He won 4, didn't he?
4 or 3, was it? Whatever.
2 in his first spell, 2 in his second spell, if I remember.
And let's be honest, got the better of Sir Alex on a number of occasions. Now, that alone, if you can go on and win a title, and you've beaten Manchester United and you've beaten Sir Alex, I think that sums up how good a manager he is.
Yeah, absolutely. Jose Mourinho opened an Instagram account just yesterday. This is how excited he is even about coming to Manchester United. The first post on his Instagram account was this. I'm not giving anything away here. It's just the top of his contract, the service agreement there, the club name, the badge, and Mourinho's name there. So you can just tell how excited he is as well about taking on this role. It seems to have been a position he's coveted for a number of years. Often been linked, but other managers have come and gone, of course. So now he gets a chance, and it will be a chance he will take with both hands.
Yeah, that little clip we've seen about a couple of minutes ago, Mark, of him walking down Old Trafford, he took that in his stride. He was an opposition manager, cool as you like. Now he knows he is a Manchester United manager. He will, when he comes out of that tunnel there in the first game, he will acknowledge everybody in the stadium.
Yeah.
It'll be natural for him. He's a natural entertainer, performer, whatever you want to call it. Here we go. Here's his little clip and saying hello to whoever he needs to say hello to.
You can tell he feels at home there.
That's as the opposition manager.
Yeah, exactly.
So,
you can tell he's very comfortable. He's always had a good response from the fans, and that will continue and grow even more.
there's not many opposition managers get a good response from our supporters.
Not at all. Absolutely.
But he did there.
Okay, let's take a couple of emails then. The first one's from Ted, who writes, "Hi lads, delighted with Jose. He's the perfect personality for United, a proven winner in every way. Would you agree that he can deliver the title in year one? Can he deliver it first attempt, Lou?"
Why not? We saw Leicester last season, Mark, romp away with it, with a team that had, I think in fairness to Leicester City, you couldn't say they had a team of superstars, but the team of players who all worked hard for one another, which he will demand. There is no doubt about that. He will demand they work hard. So I wouldn't dismiss. Well, we'll certainly go close, a lot closer than we went this season.
Certainly will. I mean, there is some work to do. He's got the basis of a decent squad, hasn't he? With the additions in the summer and the continuation of the development of the likes of Rashford, Lingard, Fosu, Mensah, there should be a squad that can challenge.
I'm in no doubt about that, Mark. Without any players coming in, we've got a squad here that, for me, underperformed last season. Certainly in the league, didn't underperform in the FA Cup because we got to the final, we won it.
Yeah.
But there was more to come from them.
Yeah.
But we never seen that. We didn't see it. I think he's the type that can bring a little bit more out of everybody.
Yeah.
And once you do that, you've got a team, without a doubt, nowadays it's going to be in contention in the Barclays Premier League.
Absolutely, yeah. 3 Premier Leagues with Chelsea, isn't it? I'm getting above myself here. 4 Premier Leagues he'll make it when he wins one with United, hopefully. Okay, we will take a short break now, but there's loads more time for you to have your say today on this Welcome Jose special. Remember the number 0161 236 1968. MUTV@manunited.co.uk is our email, or you can tweet us, use the hashtag MUTV. See you in a couple of minutes. Welcome back to this Welcome Jose special here on MUTV, as we say hello to our new manager Jose Mourinho. Loads of love for him on Twitter. We'll read a few of them out now. The first one here is from Wayne. "Biggest manager of the world, biggest club, we will be hated again." Benjamin, Brazil. It's so clear from the little interview on MUTV how much Jose Mourinho really loves United. I sense great things ahead. Mark Martini says, it's great to have Jose as manager of Manchester United. The next season is going to be fantastic. And he is the special one in my book. And I finished on Twitter for the moment with this breaking news from John Ludden at Lumacari10 has just banned the word philosophy on MUTV. Thank God for that. So you will not be hearing it from me anymore. Lou, I think you banned it
everywhere.
With yourself months ago.
Yeah.
But we're moving on with the new boss, and everyone's very, very excited about that. OK, let's go back to the phone lines, because they're red hot this afternoon, and speak to Paul in Manchester. Hi, Paul.
Hello. Hello, guys. Good morning.
Afternoon,
Paul.
mate.
I've absolutely been waiting for this to happen for the last, 3-4 days. And it's a marriage made in heaven. That's for me. I mean, there's a time and a place for a guy like Mourinho to turn up. And it's now, this is it. This is it. The stage is set for me for the club to introduce the fear factor back into Old Trafford. And I think that's what's been missing, certainly for the last 2 to 3 years. Teams have been confident to come to Old Trafford and think they can get a result, and I think this guy will introduce the fear factor, which is the number one thing. We need to be feared again and hated when we're at our best, when them two components are put together, and hopefully he'll carry on with the club's traditions and carry on using the youth, which Van Gaal has given a chance to, and uncovered some little gems which can take the club forward. And all it needs is that little bit of experience in the side. And I hope the rumours of the arrival of Ibrahimovic are true. Whenever there's a time and a place for someone like Ibrahimovic, just like Cantona, to give that little bit of spark that maybe just be missing, can move the club forward and give people, even at the age of 34, he's never been gifted with pace. He's been gifted with charisma, and he plays the game how the game should be played. And he's tailor-made for Old Trafford. The type of player we've probably been missing for a number of years. But if the rumour's true, it would be fantastic. And obviously, there's a whole list of other players that maybe just needed to add it. Doesn't need a great deal doing. Just the odd little tweak here and there. And I don't think we're that far away. Thanks a lot.
Cheers, Paul. Thanks for your call again. Spot on again, mate. That's sort of what we were saying. The odd tweak to the squad here or there. Be interested in summer ahead for many of our current squad and for players targeted by the Reds. He'll come with his own transfer list, won't he? People who he wants Ed Woodward to go out and purchase. And Ibrahimovic is probably the jewel in the crown if we could get him a proper box office name with global appeal and the ability to match.
It's what he's got left in the locker, Mark, that would worry me a little bit. I'm hoping that the Ibrahimovic we've seen over the years is still that player who can get about, can get the goals, but at the age of 34 stroke 35, whatever it is, it just may be that he's not the man that's really going to set as a light. He'll have 4 or 5 other players, younger players, that he will feel can come to Old Trafford.
But don't you think he could have an impact just for you?
He could do, yeah. I'm not saying
he's as fit as he's ever been.
Yeah,
He's
I'm not
still
saying
doing
he can't do, but I'm just saying that it won't be all resting on Ibrahimovic at 35 years of age.
Yeah.
He'll have other targets, and those targets,
absolutely, yeah,
I think will be getting spoken to as we speak here on MUTV. He's going to move quickly. He's going to want his players in place long before the start of pre-season.
Yeah.
If that's possible nowadays. Because negotiations, not just with managers, take a long time, but
and the Euros happening this summer,
the Euros happening,
it's a bit more difficult.
So that may be difficult to get those players in immediately, but he'll be trying because he wants to get, off to a great start, and I'm sure he will do. And before 8 or 10 games have gone by, I think everyone will see a big difference from the football here last season to football this season.
Okay. Let's take another caller then. It's a very interesting one coming from London, because Annelson says he was a translator during Mourinho's time at Chelsea. Hi, Annelson.
Hi guys, how are you there?
Okay, thank you.
We're good, thanks. So you've worked with Jose?
Not with Jose directly. I've worked at Chelsea training ground with the Brazilian players. I translate there.
All right, okay. So what are your impressions then of Mourinho becoming the Reds boss?
Fantastic. I think this is great news. As Portuguese myself, I couldn't wish for better than Jose Mourinho at our club. I worked at Chelsea for 5 years, and I've seen the likes of Ancelotti, Jose Mourinho, Villas-Boas, and so on at the club. And one thing that strikes me with Jose Mourinho is that it's a guy that takes time for everyone. Sometimes the media might look at him as a very hard buy, or someone very bitter, or someone very arrogant, but in the club, he treats everyone as family. He always takes the time to greet everyone, to shake hands, to talk to everyone. So I think it's fantastic, because it's going to bring the charisma back to the club. It's going to bring a spark, like everyone's been saying, and he can only be good news.
Yeah, spot on. That's what we hear as well, that his man management skills, his dealings with day-to-day people around the club, it's first class. So I hope you're spot on there, Annelson, and that he brings that to Old Trafford. I'm sure he will. Great call. Thanks for that, mate. We're going to take another one now from Jamie. Jamie, hi, mate.
Hi, Solly. How you, Lou?
Hi, Jamie.
You're right.
Can I just say how disappointed I am we didn't get Arsene Wenger instead? I'm joking, by the way.
That's definitely tongue-in-cheek. Yeah, right.
Well, I'd just like to dispel this myth that Jose Mourinho doesn't bring through youth. If you look at some of the teams he's managed, they haven't always gone on to be successes. Like, he brought through Josh McEachran his first time at Chelsea. Fair enough, he didn't do great. But Inter Milan, he brought through Balotelli. At Real Madrid, he brought through Jesse Rodriguez, brought through Varane. Carvajal, I'm pretty sure he brought through. So this myth that he doesn't bring through youth, and Loftus-Cheek at Chelsea as well.
How his aura and the kind of impact he could have on Manchester United in terms of managing that dressing room and the egos in it?
I think he's going to do okay. Let's be honest, he can't be worse than last two, David Moyes and Louis van Gaal, can he?
Yeah, spot on, I guess. He will be a great man manager. That is a key trait. Sir Alex Ferguson, who we hold as the benchmark at this club, benchmark in world football probably, had the best man management skills that you could possibly wish for, and Jose has a similar approach.
Yeah, I mean, let's look back a little bit, Matt, and see where things went wrong from in the last 12, 18 months. At Chelsea, he's got to handle players, he's got to make big decisions now about John Terry, whether he plays in the team or not. Other players that were getting to that stage of their career where he was maybe doubting their ability to play every week. So he's got to make those decisions. And those decisions you make, especially with the older players, become very unpopular. So you get dressing room unrest, which I'm sure he felt at the time that was a massive problem for him. But if you look at his overall career everywhere he's been and the length of time he's been in management, during that, whatever number of years it is, and we're well into double figures, he must have a bad time somewhere.
Yeah.
But as soon as you have a bad time and you've been the top manager all over Europe, people are ready to have a snipe at you. People have got all the answers why it hasn't worked for you at Chelsea. It just may be as simple as one or two players got the hump, one or two players didn't like the fact that they were no longer, regular in the team. And that causes you problems, causes anybody problems.
Yeah.
So I've got no doubts about him doing all the things here that need to be done as a manager of Manchester United. Handling the players, getting on well with the supporters, not falling out with the press people. He's a smart enough operator to do all those things in the way that the manager of Manchester United should do it.
Yeah, and at 53 is in the prime of his managerial career and has got wealth of experience as well. OK, let's take another call then. Keith is there waiting to speak to us. Hi, mate.
Hello, good afternoon, gents.
Afternoon, Keith. So, yeah, you must be buzzing as well. We all are that Jose's the new boss.
I am, yeah. It feels like a big cloud's been lifted, to be honest with you. I think most United fans were worried about the summer and they were thinking what's going to happen, and if we don't get Mourinho, will Van Gaal stay? And then if he doesn't, will Giggs get the job? And it was a massive worry. And I think, my wife's made up now because I'll be able to go on a summer holiday and I'll be in a good mood as opposed to the other way round. I think the thing that I really am happy about more than anything is that Van Gaal was a little bit aloof, and even when he came as manager, you saw the way he acted, and he was just a bit of an oddball, and the way he dealt with his players was a bit strange as well. And I couldn't see how it could work long term, and I always wanted Mourinho, but I think most United fans, when we didn't get him, it was one of those situations where, because he's so good, you dislike the people who are good and who are a threat to your club. So I think, United fans probably always wanted it, and now he's here, they're all accept that was the right thing to do. I'm pleased more than anything to do with players and the charisma of the man. I think you need to be able to deal with the press in the right way, and I think you need to have the charisma with players whereby players will believe in what you're trying to do. He has a siege mentality, a bit like Ferguson, where it's us against the world. He can bring players in. You don't hear many players saying that they didn't like Mourinho, even when he's left clubs. They all wanted to play for him. And I think he can attract big players. I think that's what we need, and we need a couple of huge players that will get us back at the top table of European football. And I think it's not just being in the Champions League; it's being thought of in the same bracket as the Real Madrids and the Barcelonas. And I think Mourinho can do that. And I think he's a very clever man because he waited for two managers to basically fail after Ferguson. Before he really went for the job, and I think him being away from football for a little bit has given him a chance to see the wood from the tree, so to speak, because he's been in non-stop management from his Porto days. So I think sometimes a few months out give you a chance to look at yourself, look at what you think you were doing wrong, and I think we'll get a better, newer, shinier manager as a result of it.
Yeah, spot on, Keith, and I think it's got a very good point there that that little break away from football, recharge the batteries. I know he went all around Europe watching football matches, not many top-tier matches in England because he didn't want to be linked with every job going, but he certainly watched a hell of a lot of football in that time and just been able to spend time with his family and just recharge those batteries so he comes into this fresh.
I agree with everything Keith said there. As soon as there was any indication the Manchester United job would be available, he would have been interested. He's obviously not going to show his hand, but he would have been interested.
Yeah.
And as soon as Manchester United made that first move, he was always coming to Old Trafford. He didn't need £4 million, supposedly, that I read about, in his pocket, just in case they backed out. He would have been determined to make sure he was the next manager to come here because he would have realised the golden opportunity at his mark. Keith's right. David Moyes, it didn't work for David. It was never going to work for David after Sir Alex. The next guy in was bound to fail because you were looking back at success and more success, and that was going to be difficult for David. Then the last manager comes in, it doesn't work out for him. Mourinho would have known, this is it. Right time, I've got to get in there. And he's here.
Absolutely, yeah. Okay, let's take another caller then. I'm going to sail next to speak to Alan. Hi, Alan, mate.
Hiya.
Hi, Alan.
You're right.
Yeah, former neighbour of Lou's, really.
Yeah.
Down the corner from where he used to live. What it is like, my daughter played for Stoke City Girls, and we played Chelsea away at Cobham. And Mourinho came across, was watching the game, and at the end of the game he came across, he shook hands with all the parents, all the girls, showed a massive interest in them, and what a polite guy he was. Different guy to what you actually see when he's being interviewed on the press, and he reminded me very much of Sir Alex because he did a similar thing when we were playing against United girls, and I'm just really excited in the fact that he's joining us.
That's a nice story, that actually, and it shows the charisma of Jose and his attention to the small details, the little things which can make a difference.
Well, he knows what you've got to do when you're in management. It's not just getting a team ready for a Saturday. There's lots of other things.
Yeah.
And that little sort of gesture Alan's talking about there, out and meeting and greeting everybody and shaking their hand, that's what you should be doing. You're representing your football club. You are the manager. Everyone wants to speak to you. Everyone wants to shake your hand. And of course, you can't go around shaking everyone's hand and speaking to everybody. But, if you've got a select band of people there that morning, there's no reason why he shouldn't have done what he done. And he'll do the same here. He'll be open to everybody that's at the ground, everybody at the training ground. and he knows what's required. There is no doubt in my mind about that.
Okay, right, we're going to take a second break now, but to go there, I'm going to throw a few tweets your way. Shabugan, great name. Unbelievable name, love it. Says this: people always seem to forget how good Chelsea were 2 years ago. They were only born at the end, and that was to sew up the title. Mick Minas says, a great interview with Jose on MUTV. He's so pleased, I'm quite emotional. Luke Anthony Borg says, buzzing for next season. Come on, you Reds, using the hashtag welcome Jose and hashtag MUTV. And we'll finish with this one. Kevin Worrell, a special one for a special club. Right, we're going to take a quick break. Keep your tweets and emails coming in and the phone calls too. 0161236 1968, and we'll get to more of them after this break. Well, if you're just tuning in now, the big news is, of course, that Jose Mourinho is the new Manchester United manager, and we are welcoming him to Old Trafford here on this MUTV special. Also ready to welcome the new boss is Manchester United and Chelsea legend Ray Wilkins, and we can speak to him now. Hi, Ray.
Hi, how are we doing?
We're doing very well, thanks. Myself and Lou Macari in the studio here.
All right, Ray.
Good grief. I'm very well, thank you. You well, mate?
I'm all right. I've got something for you at the end of the show.
I look forward to that immensely.
Yeah, we got a special question for you in just a moment. First, Ray,
please don't even go there.
First, Ray, your thoughts on the appointment of Jose as the new Manchester United manager?
Delighted for both. I'm delighted for him, but I'm more delighted for Manchester United because they've got a winner, a proper winner, a coach that has, wherever he's been, has been absolutely magnificent, and he's won. And I think that's the important thing for United. United be put back where they belong, and it isn't not in the Premier League. Sorry, the Champions League. Apologise.
Yeah, no problem, Ray. Lou's got a question for you as well, mate.
It's just about those shoes, Ray.
They're still on the bench.
Yeah, well, what size were they? Because I need to send you a pair back, because what I did with Ray came up and, you know, had all the gear and all that, and we got a little bit jealous. So I nailed his shoes to his dressing room floor, and he's never forgiven me. So I'm going to... What size are you, Ray?
They're still there. The nails were so big I couldn't get them out.
Brilliant stuff. But Ray, obviously Manchester United out of the Champions League this season. Jose, hopefully the man to bring us back and guide us to some silverware. I read a recent interview with you when you said you thought Jose would bring us a major trophy within the next 2 years. Something you believe in?
Yes, I do. If he's allowed to bring in the type of player that he requires, and if you look at Jose within the transfer market, he's always bought in proven players rather than potential players. The one problem that Jose will have is obviously with Marcus Rashford, is that he is a young man, but I think Jose will bring in a signing as a forward. I think it's important for Manchester United that he does. Now, Marcus has done remarkably well, but United need to play more offensive football.
Do you think that big stellar signing could be Ibrahimovic?
Well, why not? He's on a free. No, you haven't got to pay any money for him. He's played 52 games this season and scored 50 goals, 18 assists. So that's a remarkable achievement. He's 34. He's been playing in a league whereby the football isn't as intense as ours, and I still feel he has another couple of seasons left.
Ray, where do you think it went wrong for him at Chelsea towards the end? What reason would you put down to the fact that it didn't work out from there at the end?
Well, I have to say, Lou, a lot of the players were very poor. Very poor. They didn't even kick the season off, Lou, to be perfectly honest. The only player really that before Christmas was any good was Willian. And he was exceptional. But I think somewhere along the line, Lou, and I think you'll agree with me, it's not all down to the coach. It's down to the players as well. The players have to liven up a touch. And Chelsea players didn't liven up.
Yeah, spot on, Ray. And when Mourinho walks into that Old Trafford dressing room, he'll be face to face with a lot of big Manchester United stars. Is he the perfect manager to work with them?
Yes, I think he's the perfect person. If you ever meet, well, you will meet Jose. Jose off the field, he's an extremely warm guy. And if you look at the way that he's handled the Chelsea dressing room on 2 occasions, obviously the second wasn't as successful as the first, but when they first won the title in 2004-05, that dressing room was actually packed full of world-class footballers. The Drogbas, the Czechs, the Terrys, the Lampards, the Coles. It was a remarkable dressing room, and he handled that remarkably well. And I'm sure he'll do it exactly the same at Old Trafford. I don't think Man U could have got a better guy.
Ray, it's been a pleasure talking to you, and hopefully we can get you on MUTV again very soon. For now, though.
Oh, look, by the way, there are 7.5.
7.5, all right, Ray.
New shoes in the post to Mr. Ray Wilkins, courtesy of Lou Macari.
Cheers, Ray.
You heard it first there. Thanks, Ray. Okay, so that's the thoughts of Ray Wilkins. But now, to hear from the man himself, let's get the thoughts of Jose Mourinho speaking with Stuart Gardner.
Well, Jose, congratulations, new Manchester United manager. How do you feel?
I feel great. I think comes in the right moment of my career, because Man United is one of these clubs where you need really to be prepared for it, because it's what I used to call a giant club, and giant clubs must be for the best managers, and I think I'm ready for it. So I could say I'm happy, I'm proud, I'm honored, I'm everything, but the reality is that what I love is to work, and I cannot wait for 7th of July to go on the pitch.
You've won trophies everywhere. What are your ambitions for Manchester United?
I think we can look at our club now in 2 perspectives. One perspective is the past 3 years, and another perspective is the club history. I think I prefer to forget the past 3 years. I prefer to focus on the giant club I have in my hands now. And I think what the fans are expecting me to say is that I want to win. I think what the players, they need to listen is I want to win. And more than that, I need the supporters and the players to feel that I say that, but I think we can really. It's not just to say by say. So yes, I want to focus on the history of this giant club and give what I have and what I don't have. So I will give absolutely everything to try to go in the direction we all want.
You seem to have had a good rapport with Manchester United fans when you've come back with Inter Milan, with Real Madrid, with Chelsea, with the charity game. What's your message to United fans who'll be watching this eagerly now?
You know, I think I know what they can give me. I think also they know what I can give them. Obviously, the most important thing are the players and the relation the players establish with them. But I think is very important and curious that I play so many times against Man United, and I play so many times at Old Trafford with other clubs, and was empathy, no problems, and in fact I was pushed by that feeling to say sometimes things that my clubs were not happy with. I remember, for example, when I won at Old Trafford with Real Madrid, I told that the best team lost, and not many people was happy at Real Madrid.
Yeah, spot on from Jose, calling it a giant club, and he's at the right place at the right time, something Mr. Lou Macari said as well earlier in the show. Okay, let's back to the phone lines now, to Shropshire to speak to Gary. Hi there.
Hi there. Hello guys.
Hi Gary.
You've been waiting very patiently for your opportunity to speak, so thank you for that, but how delighted are you?
Great, it's where the romance begins.
Absolutely, yeah. And what will he bring to the party, do you think, Gary?
Oh, I mean, fantastic manager. All the right credentials. Great manager. What I'd like to ask Lou, if possible, is what does he advise Ryan to do now? Because obviously it's going to be a difficult time for him now to choose whether he's going to move on or stay with the club.
That's Ryan's choice, and I'm sure he's got that choice because the club, without a doubt, will want him to stay here. Simply down to Ryan himself. He may feel that he's been here long enough without actually getting that top job. He may want to work under Mourinho. I can't really answer that, but all I do know is that the club are desperate and they hope that he does stay and wants to stay here. But if you were in Ryan's position, will you want to go out and prove yourself somewhere? So if this job does become available in 10 years' time or whenever, he is a major candidate for it. It's one of those things, so it just depends what
Ryan wants to do.
Well,
Mourinho signed a 3-year deal until 2020 it could take him. So I guess the decision for Ryan, and you're right, it will be his decision. The club will want him to stay, will be, do I stay and work under Mourinho, or do I go away and hopefully that job becomes available when Mourinho finishes his tenure then? Because Mourinho tends to work in 2-3 year bursts at a club.
Oh no, I think he's going to be here longer than 2 or 3 years. You know, I don't think he's here for a short stay, Mourinho. He realises this is the best job that he could ever have got, and he's now got it. You know, he's watched the last manager not really do what everyone thought he could do and would do, and he's going to take advantage of that and move in here and get Manchester United quickly, I hope, to the very top again and stay there. But Ryan's situation is a difficult one. Ryan's been here whatever number of years as a player, and then he's been on the coaching staff. Won't want to leave Old Trafford, but the time sometimes comes when you say to yourself, am I going to be better moving on somewhere else, getting experience as a manager, and then being contention for some of the top jobs? What decision he makes, Mark, I wouldn't like to guess at this moment in time.
Yeah, watch this space, and of course, as soon as we know more here on MUTV, we will let you know. But let's go to another caller then and speak to Ashwin in Leeds. Hi, Ashwin. Ashwin, you there? Hello, Ashwin.
Hello, can you hear me?
Hi, yeah, we've got you there. Thought we'd lost you for a moment, but fire away, Ashwin.
Okay, so I've been going to the games quite a lot this season, and I think the one thing that players have been missing is the authority on the touchline. And I think with the appointment of Mourinho, that's something the players will have again. Because it just felt like sometimes the players were doing things out of their own will, and they didn't have the right, points given to them. So I think the appointment of Mourinho comes by the very good timing, and also gives the players that added bit of authority, or being given that authority from a manager. I don't know what you guys think.
Yeah, you think that's important, Lou?
Good point, but we touched on with Ray, and Ray made the point of at Chelsea the players just didn't come up to the sort of marks that the manager thought they should do. So as a result, the performances at Chelsea went down and down and down. And you know, our players have got to be responsible and take some responsibility for last season, because it's what you do out on that pitch, Mark. It's those moments of magic that you produce. Yeah. And once you walk out that tunnel and get onto that pitch, what your manager has said in the dressing room, it sails way over your head. And you know, you're not thinking about 4-4-2 and 4-3-3 or anything else that's been talked about. You're thinking about going out there. And I think there's no better occasion to prove that than Wembley. We go to Wembley. Where does the tactics come in with Mata's goal, where the ball just happens to drop to him and he smashes it and gets a little nick off a defender and goes in the back of the net? And then Lingard, who hasn't even started the game, so there could have been no major planning that he was going to be the cup winner. He comes on, ball drops him at the edge of the box, he strikes it beautifully into the top corner, and it's as simple as that. We win the FA Cup. So it's down to, I've always believed it's down to the players. But that little bit of guidance when things are not going right on the touchline is valuable.
Absolutely.
And he will bring that.
Certainly. We'll just finish with this last email from Russ in Sydenham. Thank you, Ed Woodward, for securing Jose for the biggest club on earth. We look forward to supporting you and helping you deliver success for us. And let's bring in some headline signings. So let's hope we see some action in the summer. Right, that's everything from this Welcome Jose special. If you didn't get on the show this afternoon, there'll be a 90-minute Paddy show this evening on MUTV for plenty more reaction to today's big news. So join us for that at 6:30. But for Lou and myself, it's bye for now.